Okay, people, I told you. Did I not tell you? What is it, November 1st of 2024? My landlord's back, okay? She's back from India from her parade. She called me up for the rent. I said, okay, no problem, right? Like, you got my message about what happened with the garage, right? It was Saturday on October 12th at fucking 5:30 in the morning. Alex finally, we call, right? Right? And he got here at like 6 in the morning. Okay. I told her, and she said, oh, well, you know, the home phone the answering machine didn't work. And I said, well, I tried to phone your cell, but, you know, I didn't get the message. Oh, okay, fine. I explained to her what basically happened, people. Andre, turned that down for a minute. I explained to her that she has to change the pipe because of the roots, right? Alex has been a plumber for like, I don't know, people, forever. That's all he did for 9 years, was work for a company that replaced pipes and driveways and that kind of thing, right? For whatever various reasons, right? You know what I'm saying? And so he knows what he's talking about, people. And we've had problems with it ever since we moved in, people. 14 years. I told you, when it rains, my heart goes like this. After 14 years, because, you know, so anyway, he confirmed, yeah, it's like, you know, because, like I said, 2 years ago or whatever it was, somebody came and they, you know, they, whatever, but it's not the same thing, eh? And that person that snaked it out 3 years ago said it has to be done at least every year, but of course it doesn't get done. And then when the pipe in the laundry room backs up and I get Alex to come, I never ask her to give me money for that, to pay Alex for it, because, you know, right? Cut her a little slack, eh? So I either pay him or I babysit. Either or, right? My son had to change the fucking beams on the garage at the end, because it was going to come crashing down when they started taking the, you know, to do whatever. They said if they wouldn't have done it, it was rotten. Because it was rotten when I moved in, people. The porch was rotten when I moved in, people. Every fucking year I've been battling with that porch. I have fucking video documentation of it, people. Anyway, I said, look, we were out there at 6 o'clock in the morning, pitch dark, pouring rain, water like this in the garage. It flooded into the laundry room, which goes underneath all the floorboards, which sweats the cement, which brings mildew into the carpet. Okay, whatever. You know, that's why I told my son to use the dehumidifier after it's all said and done. That cost me $250 plus, right? You know, she didn't pay for that. Okay, and I had to plead to have Alex come. Literally, I had to beg for it. He did come, pitch black, pouring rain, water like this, like, you know, like in the garage is like this, but where it all pools, it's like, you know, you're getting into like almost a foot of water. So he's slushing around in that, trying to get to the drain, and because he works, right, and he was on call, and they have given him, because he's working now for a different company, he has the company truck, right? So he had the basic snake, motorized one, right, to declog it. The only thing is, it only declogs 1/4 of an inch. So the snake goes up, there's a little thing that opens up and grabs, so, you know, to declog, right? He pulls it out, and it's full of roots. For the other company that he worked for 9 years, he knows exactly what he's fucking dealing with. He knows exactly what needs to be done. Otherwise, it's going to do it again and again and again and again, because the roots are just going to keep coming back, or the mud and everything that's already in the pipe that's been there for the last 50 years. Well, this house was built in 1962, so since 1962, more than likely, right? There's like so much mud and crud, not including the roots, that what he did accomplish was no more than 1/4 inch hole, so that whatever was pooling there, we had nowhere to go, started to drain through that little hole, people. as my son was running the sump pump and still bailing. And don't forget, I was out there 6 o'clock in the morning, blind as a fucking bat, getting soaking wet from top to bottom, right? If it wasn't raining on me, I was sloshing around in it, and my pants were soaking wet, my boots, everything were soaking wet, as I'm lifting freaking from a bucket into a garbage can so that my son could wheel up the driveway to the alley and empty it out into the freaking driveway. This is what I was doing. And so was my son. And Alex was kind enough to come at 6 o'clock in the morning. And at least do what he did so that it helped. But he said it's not going to work. It's going to fill up again. It's going to clog up again. Roots and all. Whether it's roots or... There's too many roots in there, period. So they have to come with a different scope. If Alex does it, he has to rent the scope, which is about $400 to rent. Right? To locate where the roots are, and it could be more than one tree, because we've got the big tree over here, the big pine tree, plus we've got the other tree at the end of the driveway, which could very well be the problem. So it could be 2 sections of the pipe that could be the problem, or it could be one. Either or. He said the only way you're going to solve the problem is to dig up the pipe and replace it. And you have to find out, first of all, where it's all rooted up. And then start from there, and then once you dig up that part, then you got to make sure the rest of the line is clear, otherwise you may have to do the whole line, and then it's going to be a big job. And I told you people, as soon as I mentioned this to my landlord, she's going to start fucking gaslighting me, and that's exactly what she did. I said, listen, you know, she wants to come for a rent. I said, yeah, okay, but this is what happened. You know, Alex was here, right? Can I give him $100 off a rent? Why? I said, well, because he was here at 6 o'clock in the morning, pouring fucking rain in the dark, trying to snake out whatever he could, just so that it would drain, because the sump pump that we had wasn't enough. As we're bailing. Oh, well, you pay half. I said, I pay half? Why? Why should I have to pay half, people? I said, I was out there bailing. Are you not hearing what I'm telling you? Oh, well, you know, you don't pay enough rent. Your rent is cheap. This is how she talks to me. She treats me like I'm a fucking slave, people. When that African came to my house and looked at that fucking gutter and was talking to me, and he said, you need to take her to court, you need to, and I'm like, no, I can't, because if I do, this is what happens. I have to deal with it, right? Can you not just fucking fix the gutter, keep it on the down low, and I'm, you know, probably she'll pay for that. But she's not going to pay $800 to fix the fucking rotten stairs, because she expects me to fucking fix them, or move out so that she can rent the house for $4,000 a month and tell the next tenants that next year she'll fix them when the weather is nice. And she doesn't care what happens to my kids. She doesn't care what happens to my grandkids. She doesn't fucking care what happens to me, because she can't fucking work me like a dog in the fucking yard anymore, like she did for years and years and years and years and years. Her son was supposed to come the last 2 fucking years and help me run that vinyl siding up against the fence, right? Because I said, you know, it will help to keep the fucking rotten fence from falling down. These are just cedar fucking sidings. They're always falling down. I've been fixing the fence for fucking years. And did he come? Did her son come? No! And now we got a busted up fence over there, busted up fence over there, busted up fucking fence over there, and I just don't have the energy to go out there and fucking fix it. And she can never say that I never tried to fucking fix her fence, because I can go out there, take pictures to show where I stapled chicken wire and those kind of wires on the fence just to hold it up, those boards. My son came with his friends 4 years ago and re-cemented posts on that side of the fucking road just so that the fence post wouldn't fall down. Well, I came along and put the boards back up, paid my own money for fucking chicken wire or whatever fucking wire, stapled it on so the boards wouldn't fall. And where I haven't done it, that's where they're falling. That's where they're falling. And because somebody came and cut down the blackberry bush over there, they I don't know, they fucking busted up the fence because it was going to bust up anyway. Like 15 fucking years later, the fence was already old when I moved in, just like the fucking porch was old when I moved in. And you know, I'm tired of this, you know, I'm not putting up with this. And I'm like, what? What you gonna do? Like, why are you threatening the yard? And I'm like, that's your responsibility, Mrs. Gill. That's your responsibility, Mrs. Gill. It's always been your responsibility. I did what I could. I gave you my fucking life. I gave her my fucking life, people. I gave my fucking blood. I treated her with respect. I treated her like she was my grandmother. I pampered her, people, when I could. When I could. And now that I'm sick, she has no use for me. She just tortures me. She holds her responsibility against me. And I told her, all you want is money. You think that your family will love you when you die because you've got all this money. But you know, it's not going to be like that, Mrs. Gill. As fast as you die, they're going to take the fucking money, they're going to run, and they're going to forget about you. But you have to remember what she's teaching them. I had a dream with her, standing high on the mountain. I mentioned it. Overlording. She wasn't my landlord. She wasn't my grandmother. I wish she would have been, because she's cute. But that's not the reality. She was overlording me as I was trying to climb up the mountain to be an equal to her. But that's not what she sees. That's not what she wants. Instead, she's looking at me and saying, well, come on. It's your responsibility. You get up here. You do it for yourself. If you can't fucking do it, if you fall, oh well. I'm back on that mountain with my nails hanging on. Forget the hands. Forget the fingers. My nails are being ripped out by this woman. As I'm hanging on, and she's standing there kicking me down, people. Kicking me fucking down with her fucking high heels on at 84 years old. Because of money. A measly $50 fucking dollars. Alex didn't have to come. I told her. Alex didn't have to come. I could have phoned anybody. Oh my God. Answer the phone.
She's outside.
There you go. She came for a rent. Just take her rent. Tell her I'm upset. Like, I'm serious. I'm so scared. You don't even know. I'm tired of living in fucking fear. I'm so tired of it, people. All she cares about is more money, more money, more money. As I live in fear. And now I'm like, okay, what dirty pull is she going to play now on me? You bring your bins? Are you going to sick your son on me? Throw my shit out, do a fucking Marcane? Right? She doesn't care where we go. Because we did it to ourselves. Because we weren't smart. We didn't buy a house like her. Right? I'm just saying. It's gonna rain tonight. I'll be afraid. I'll get a knock on the door. For all I know, she could be coming with an eviction notice. I told her to take me to fucking court. Throw me out. I don't care. Well, where am I gonna go, people? I tell you, I'm always this close to fucking homelessness. Always. Because of the mental attitude around the corruption of the housing market within this province. What is that?
Your thing.
Okay.
I asked her if we're gonna get kicked out. She said no.
Asked her for what?
If we're getting kicked out, she said no.
Okay.
So we're not getting kicked out.
Well, not now. Not now. But when? But when, people? I struggle. You don't know how hard I struggle in this house.
Could be a year, could be 2 years, maybe 5 months.
I told you.
Never know.
I'm not shopping no more. I'm paying bills.
Yeah, you're gonna be sending me to Lucky's.
I'm going to send you to the grocery store to buy just exactly what we need.
Maybe the mall.
I'm paying bills. I'm fixing your teeth. Pay my rent. That's always covered no matter what. If the world went into war in 6 months from now, because we don't know, people, and the economy really freaking crashed, including Canada, the Canadian economy, at least I made it where she never has to worry about getting what rent she gets from us. Where with a different tenant, it might be different, right? That's why, another reason why I did the food prep. Because I don't have to buy food now. Very little, people. And I want to leave, but I'm stuck. I'm caught in the Punjabi web in partnership with a corrupt government that exploits those below a certain income level under a caste system where they treat us like slaves. A commodity to cash in when they need body parts or cheap labor like me in the yard, for example. Right? And that's just the fucking reality of it. Okay? And maybe, I know there's people in her family from time to time, I don't think they watch all my videos, but from time to time, they snag into them, and they don't like what I have to say. In terms of their people as a collective. And, like, with how they perceive life to be. And how they operate for self-interest within their religion, regardless, whether they're Hindus, Muslims. It's not just Punjabis, right? It's those kind of people, right? Where they're just, I don't know, different. And, like, just because she says she's not kicking me out doesn't mean she's not going to play dirty pool, okay? And gaslight me. And my son knows I'm getting sick from being gaslighted like this all these years. Right? Because I never know when it's coming. All over a measly $50. She kept 100. But I told her she needs to talk to Alex because Alex knows exactly what he's talking about. My son was talking to Alex, and my son was saying that, maybe he'll do it with his friends, but of course he's going to need someone like Alex that knows how to do it. But either or, it's a big job. It's going to cost her, and I quoted, I'm like, I don't know, maybe $2,000, $2,500, up to $3,000. I don't know, Mrs. Gill. All I know is you're looking at a pipe like you changed out in the front. Oh, well, no, just get your son to cut the tree. I said, I don't think it's that simple, Mrs. Gill. I don't know. Like, you have to talk to Alex, right? You know what I'm saying? Because the pipe itself is clogged with mud and leaves. And so, like, you'd have to get a real big rotor-rooter in there to really rotor-root it out. And I don't know if plumbers have access to that because it's not anything that Alex said that they had. Maybe there's something new that he doesn't know about. But I mean, for all we know, the pipe could have already collapsed because it's so old. Who knows? That's why you have to really scope it out with a special kind of scope. And you don't know where the roots are in terms of how much cloggage there is in there. So, I told her, like, I could have had an emergency company, random through telephone book, come, it cost $200, $400 in the middle of fucking 6 o'clock in the morning, the pouring rain in the dark, as if, even Jude's townhouse was backing up with water from the toilet, people. They're sweet over here in the townhouse, the subsidized townhouses.
It could have been both,
Huh?
It could have been toilet and the bathtub from his.
It came up through the pipes. There was so much water.
Yeah, it doesn't help. He said it doesn't help when they had carpet.
And they had carpet. The point is it it was a lot of rain, but for us, it wasn't just a lot of rain. It was the fact that there was tree roots clogging up the drain. And now it's always going to happen, and that's the thing. You don't know when it's going to happen. And you're not going to be... And the hole that they run through with a pipe to when they to declog a pipe, right? It's only like a 1/4 inch. So if the pipe is like this and you've only got a 1/4 inch hole and it's full of mud and leaves and grit and grime and twigs and God knows what, and then roots in as well, how long do you think that hole is going to stay open? That's the point. And she wants me to pay more rent. I told you. As the porch is falling apart. The fence is falling apart. The stairs are falling apart. The back window's falling apart. And I'm blind as a bat, getting blinder every fucking day. Every day. I told Andre, you need to go outside. I bought him a freaking GoPro to do some extra yard work. To prevent this, what about the yard? Because I just wasn't capable of doing it, people. I can't even see blueberries or raspberries on the raspberry and blueberry tree. That's how bad my eyes are. Don't ask me what I'm looking at when it comes to a plant, because I couldn't tell you. Unless, of course, I really stuck it up to my face. And, right? The eye doctor, he lied to me, and he did something where he made it worse. Not better. But Andre wanted to play with his little friend, and because he spent so much time helping me with the Mari, that's basically what happened.
Yeah, so you can't really be mad at me. I was kind of sick. A lot.
No, you weren't sick. You were waiting to bust loose to go run around with Jude. And then you got into trouble, and then it got cold, and now he can't. It's cold outside, right? You know?
I'm going to do a week around when winter ends.
Well, you're going to have to do a little something this week.
So, one reverse mine, right?
Yes. Put them both in the orders are coming. I ordered two pieces of meat for Amari, like 2 roasts, and the ribs.
And we got a free pizza. Hopefully.
And we got a free pizza, but that's my last big shop. That's it, because I'm paying down bills now all year. I told you December. That's it. I'm opening up a new chapter, right? I've got the rent covered, no prob, right? The bills, I'm juggling around, jimmying around. I overextended myself with quote-unquote more credit just to get me situated with everything that I want to do when it comes to the food prep around Amari's regime. When it comes to meal preparation, right? I had to get a few more jars, whatever, just because if you're going to buy sesame seeds, you want to put them in some nice sealed container, preferably vacuum sealed. So whatever, once that's all done, put away, then fine. And then, because I won't be doing food prep next year, this is what I was thinking, as long as I can see a little bit, I'd be probably more out in the yard, right? I don't know, people. I don't even know if I'm going to be functional come spring. I just don't know. And for her to be treating me like this after all these years, like literally, I worked so hard in her that it contributed towards me being blind, because I wouldn't go to the fucking doctor because of the fucking whip on my back with the city of Surrey. Sook, a Punjabi who is more than likely somehow related to them, whether through a friend of a friend or whatever, because it was just too funky. 10 months, that man had me out in the fucking yard 6-7 days a week for 10 hours to 12 hours a day, coming out doing his little spot checks. Well, what about that? Or what about that? Move that from over there, right? And like, right? I had it all nicely laid out with those cement blocks, everything out in the front, and then they came along and busted up the fucking pipe, ripped everything up, moved all the heavy big boulders, everything into one big pile over here, another big pile over there, and then expected me to go back and put everything back the way it was, right? Even though it took me like 4 years to put it together, and put it all back within a fucking year, as if I had the energy to do that. And then, yeah, they had me out in the yard, front and back, as I'm fixing their fence, trying to fix the leaky porch, whether up on top or whether underneath. Yeah. Don't tell me that didn't play a role with me going blind when I practically lived in that yard for years. I lived more in the yard than I did in the house. And then, you're right, my neighbor over here, the person who bought her house bought 7 in a row, right? A few years back. He told her he was giving her a 1-year notice because he was going to tear down all the houses all at one time, kick out everybody out into the streets, because that's what they do out here, people, right? And build a bunch of fucking condos or something, like townhouses or something, or maybe another building. Who knows? Anyway, it never happened. But that guy never raised her rent. Her rent is the same. He's never raised the rent on her. Mine once every year. And she's not satisfied with 100 a year. She wants 2. And even then, she wants more. She came in January. After April, I gave her 100. And then the year went, and by January, she was asking for more money. So we gave her an extra 100. So within 8 months, we gave her $200 a month. Now we're going to be coming into January again. And she's already, having come to it, and she's already threatening to kick me out and use the yard against me. And she fucking knows I can't fucking see. She knows it, people. And I'm like, well, where's your son? Why didn't your son come and fucking help? Right? For 2 years, he told me he was going to come and help me put the vinyl up along the fence, because that is what will hold up those boards. Chicken wire, sure, yeah, it does, but like hell, chicken wire is sitting out in the yard getting rusted because nobody helped me. You can't ask my son; he's too busy tossing things around. And then what? Is she gonna blame me for that? Yeah, okay. I haven't even finished cleaning up after my fucking son yet, for crying out loud. Everything that I had on the porch is completely fucking ruined. Whatever I had in boxes, and they're all soggy and shit. Right? So I either chuck it out or wash it. I'm washing. I have nowhere to put it. Making my grandson feel insecure. Yeah. Why should my grandson go pay rent asking the landlady if we're being kicked out? Huh? For more money. So she can rent it to an immigrant family that's being propped up by the federal and the provincial and the municipal government with all the subsidy this, subsidy that, and the first stages of buying their own home. So they can walk around in 10 years from now feeling like they're everybody else, better than everybody else, and families like mine continue to be white and black trash. Yeah. Like the Syrians. Right? Yeah, you come to this country as a Syrian, put yourself on long-term disability, and start fucking selling heroin in the community. Yeah, okay. And then you get your fuckboy that works with the city to scoop up on this house for your so-called friends that come from the same part of town in Syria where you come from, and I cross over to go see if those boys that just moved in could mow my grass, pay them $50 each, right? And there's that Frenchie who isn't French but more like Syrian, sitting up on long-term welfare, long-term disability, right? Driving a moped, acting like a drug kingpin as he's fucking selling heroin that's more than likely laced with fentanyl in the community. And that's your next generation of homeowners when it comes to fucking monster homes. And then they say, well, we did it. Why couldn't you? Why didn't you buy a house? Well, I don't know. I had different rules when I was with those subsidies. And what did my government do in 2001? They cut me off of welfare illegally with 5 dependent kids with a blind man in tow. Yeah. And threw my ass out in the middle of winter. So when my landlady comes and says, well, that's it, I'm done, you get out. Right, I'm done with you, you need to leave. You don't want to pay rent, and more rent, that is, right? Or whatever, right? Like, you don't think I don't take that fucking shit serious? Fucking right, I take it fucking serious. But I'm at the end of my rope, like, go ahead. Fucking just, I've been terrorized with bins I had that dream with the Punjabi, right? Right? The one with the black turban, with me on the rail, hanging on the outside of the rail, ready to fall down onto the ground, and him shaking the fucking rail, trying to kill me, people. Literally, trying to fucking kill me. Wanted me to fall, wanted to get rid of me, wanted to hurt me. Couldn't fucking shake the rail hard enough. Young Punjabi. As this Punjabi over here, young man, telling me as he's tearing down the fucking building to build something that's inferior, that he worked hard and he has his own house and, you know, he did it and why couldn't I? And that it's all my fault that people are the way they are because of, I'm paying for the sins of my white forefathers. I'm like, holy fuck. No, it's more like you people are fucking ruthless. You don't care who you hurt. So you can brag that you're 30 years old and you own a fucking house because you kick people out onto the streets. That's why. And then you build inferior fucking buildings where the federal government has to come in with a scheme with the province to say that, oh, well, this immigrant family, if we give them this amount of money, can buy a little two-bedroom fucking condo for, you know, $500,000 or whatever the hell it is, and consider that to be a quote-unquote home until the next lockdown, and they lock everybody in. Yeah, with their new and improved air ventilation. Yeah, okay. And leaky fucking basements like this one over here. Yeah, okay. That get me in trouble with my landlord because all that water that Punjabis built with that building over there leaking is flooding over here, but it wouldn't change anything, no, because it's the pipe. The house was built in 1962. And then she threw that in my face. Oh, the mortgage, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. You've owned this house since 1992. She paid $175,000. I have paid your mortgage 3 times fucking over. Like, don't even talk to me about your fucking mortgage. She owns like 4 or 5 houses, people. When I met her, she was living over there on the main floor of another house that she owns, plotting and scheming, saving money, scamming, do whatever she fucking does with her family in terms of getting money. And then she turned around with her husband and built themselves a brand new home that they live in. Brand new monster home. Way down there. With extra land. You can't be crying on about this mortgage when this mortgage has already been paid off 3 times when you built yourself a brand new fucking home. Not that I fucking care. And you own that one, and you own that one. That's 4 houses that I'm aware of. And I think there's 5. So what mortgage are you talking about? Maybe you're confused. And what do I get? A big fat fucking 0 with a whip on this side, whip on that side, Marina whipping me on that side, Marcaine whipping the legs on that side, being treated like a dog, worse than a fucking slave, constantly in fear from one reason or another. Like, what the hell? With no place to go? What the perfect world I live in. So everybody can run around feeling good about themselves. Because they're so much better and established than I am. Because I made the mistake of thinking about my whole community. I didn't say, well, I want to work on a universal school meal program. Da-de-da-da-da-da-da. With this foundation. But I ain't helping the fucking Punjabis. Hell no, I don't like them because they're racist. Right? Ultimately, they're racist. So therefore, why would I want to help racist people? No, I never thought like that. None of it, people. But that's the way they operate. They do for self. Go into their temples. You're not going to find too many white people except for when maybe on a day when they're giving out dinner. Because they do that. They'll make a dinner, you know, and anybody in the community can come and eat. But outside of that, that's just for show. Can I open that? I want to show them, people. I want to show, and I'm going to end it on this video because I can go around and around and around and around. Because it ain't over yet. It ain't over yet. She can discuss it with Alex. She can discuss it with my son. Clearly, I'm too emotional with it, right? She's just going to have to be patient with me on the yard in terms of fixing the fence and all that crap, right? Andre may or may not get a little bit of time out there, but it's starting to get cold, right? And, you know, some of that stuff can still be repurposed in the yard in terms of trim for this or trim for that. But, you know, in this house, patience is not a virtue. Haste make waste is the motto, right?
No offense.
This is what I bought for Amari. Now, I do have some downstairs. Can I get a glass of water, please? Just please, you know, I'm trying so hard with my grandson, people, like, you know, before I really lose it, you know what I'm saying? So that at least there's a guide, eh, you know? And, like, I'm trying to stay positive, right? So anyway, I know I have some of this downstairs. I have coconut oil, and I'm pretty sure I have a bucket of coconut butter. And I know I have coconut butter, quote unquote, in jars down there, assuming that they weren't thrown out. Because I don't know, people. I just don't know. I hope not, because it's still fine, because I'm still eating the one up here. I'm using it with a mark. And it tastes good. It really does. So this stuff lasts a long time. Anyway, I bought another one just so that when I do get downstairs, first of all, I'm going to look for the ones in the jar, and I'm so hoping I'll find them, because honestly, I don't like putting this in an oven, heating it up warm, you know, just and then re-jarring it. But if I have to, because I can't find the other ones, then before I do this bucket, I will get the one that's, there should be one full bucket like this downstairs. I know where it is, but again, you know, there's psychological damage there, people, like big time. You don't even know. What my son did with Marina downstairs really psychologically damaged me. Oh yeah. I have never been treated that bad in all my life. And be held to it in terms of not being able to do anything about it, outside of maybe calling the police, to which wouldn't have solved any problems, but besides that, and then what my landlord continues to do to me, right? I mean, it's psychologically has damaged me, because, you know, I just, the only reason she doesn't sell this house is because they want $3 million for it. Or they want $4,000 of rent. She said $3,000, no, because she wants $3,000 from me, but she's not getting it. I don't have it. And I shouldn't have to. But if I moved, she kicked me out, got rid of me, threw me out on the streets, because that's basically what's going to happen. She'd ask for $4,500 a month because of the amenities in the yard. Whatever's going on in the yard wouldn't take much to correct it. It's just, it's heavy, intensive labor in terms of lifting things, right? And just moving a few and fixing the fence and that kind of crap. And a lot of weed work. That's the big one. Andre is getting bigger. Yeah. Well, come spring, you're going to have to take it serious and just, you owe me. I bought him a GoPro and another camera. He was supposed to work it off. It didn't happen. Instead, he wanted to ride his bike with his little friend, and then eventually he got into some trouble, and now he's just kind of like stuck inside. And then I did the PC here, right, which he's been kind of taking for granted. So, but you know, I don't know how much he'll get done now, because I'm busy. I can't leave Amari alone. I just can't. I can't, people. Like, it's not that simple. You go away and 2 minutes later he's like, you don't even know. Anyway, I buy these off Amazon. They're pretty good. They're really good. It's a really good quality. So, but before I'd open up this one, I'd go downstairs and I'd look for the one that's already down there, and I kind of know where it is. So I'm really hoping, I hit it, people. So I'm really hoping that it's still there, but, you know, that's another thing I have to contend with, right? I know I have things. I go to find them. I can't find them. I don't see them. Or I see that they've been mucked with, switched around, things disappear. I don't know if it stopped. I can only hope that it stopped, but I don't know because I very seldom go downstairs now, even though I need to. And now I know whatever my landlady said, that's not, that's just stupid, man. I shouldn't have to pay Alex $50 to come and fucking snake out her drain when I'm out there at 6 o'clock in the morning in the dark, pouring rain, getting saturated from top to bottom with my son bailing it out yet in a garbage can of all things. Like, come on. She's not broke. She's just old. Stuck in her ways. Lost her way. She lost her way, people. Yeah. And I'm not her savior. I can't educate her on the fact that you think you can buy love. But when it's all said and done and you're gone, poof, nothing moves except you, and you are gone, and everything else stays behind. Yeah, everything else stays behind, and you are gone, and you will be forgotten. For as much as you thought you had. Because if she was a poor Punjabi woman, she'd be like the rest of us. Trash. But at the end of the day, we all exit out. And nobody in 20 years from now is going to look back and thank Mrs. Gill for leaving them a nest egg so that they could end up being 10 times more worse than she was as a human being. So that they can go around bragging that they're so fucking rich. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you leaving them? What are you teaching them? What do you hope to accomplish after you're gone? It's beyond the strong will survive. It's not about being strong. Like, maybe she thinks she's strong. No. No, you'll be forgotten about.